The Scorpio moon. The beautiful human souls, the beautiful human beings with this placement are not afraid of intensity, and they live in the void. What is the void exactly? In this case, I'm saying the void is beyond all that we know. What Neville Goddard calls the silence, embracing the silence. The space where there is no space, the dimension where there is no dimension, where it is beyond human comprehension. Welcome back to the Scorpio Scriptures. My name is Jay. Today we are going to be talking about Scorpio Moon. This is a podcast where we go all in on all things Scorpio, astrology related, and the expansion of human consciousness. So if you like, be sure to subscribe, comment down below your placements if you have any relation to a Scorpio Moon, or you are just here to learn, right? Just here to learn. Now, feel free to connect to me in the links below. Now let's get into this. Scorpio Moon, right? Well, first thing to compare this to, I would say the Scorpio Moon and the Scorpio Sun are two very different signs. So if the Sun is the way we kind of express ourselves, kind of express our ego, right? I'm a Scorpio Sun, and I am a Sagittarius Moon. So, not a Scorpio Moon, but I can compare this, I can teach this very well. Because the Scorpio Sun is interested in Scorpio things. But the Scorpio Sun would be more extroverted and dominant and, love to talk about these things. They're more ego-like. So I love to teach about these things like astrology, the occult, dive deep into what makes the universe tick, death, life, and rebirth. That would be a Scorpio Sun, right? Expressing the Scorpio nature outward. Think of the sun, how it always gives us rays. So if you think of the sun giving us rays out into filter of a Scorpio energy, that'd be a Scorpio Sun. Now the moon would be different. The moon is very different. The Scorpio Moon is very different from Scorpio Sun. I would say the Scorpio Moon embodies Scorpio energy better than the Scorpio Sun. I would say the Scorpio Moon is one of the most true and the most pure versions of Scorpio, because it is someone's true nature, someone's inner nature. And the Scorpio sign in itself is a sign that is meant to go deep within. It is meant to be very still, very fixed, right? Resistant to change, and very powerful. So the Scorpio Moon, I would say, is a more true version of the Scorpio expression, because it is very comfortable in the sign. It is matching the nature of Scorpionic energy. Whereas the Scorpio Sun would be one to talk about these things, right? So just take myself, for example. Since I am making this podcast, I'm teaching Scorpionic things, truths of life, truths of the universe. Scorpio Moon would be the subject of study. Scorpio Moon would be the embodiment of all these things. So for Scorpio Sun, we'll be talking about astrology and the realities of the universe and the deep dark changes that we go through and life and death. The Scorpio Moon would internally understand these things and just embody them. So any Scorpio Moon listening to me would probably go, yeah, I totally get what he's saying. He's teaching what I already know in my mind inherently. So that is how you would compare if you think of Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon. The way the Scorpio Sun expresses himself and feels and looks to the world is the way the Scorpio Moon kind of exists, kind of feels internally. So these two, if you have these two signs, two energy placements, right, in your chart, you would be a very congruent person. And the Scorpio Sun and the Scorpio Moon person would get along very, very, very well. I had a friend when I was in trade school, college, who was a Capricorn Sun and a Scorpio Moon. So he was very... Whenever I needed any question answered in school, I would always ask him. And it was just the most amazing thing, because I could see both charts, both energies working together. I'd ask him a question. You ask the Scorpio Moon a question. And also Capricorn Sun, right? And I'd ask him, hey, what do you think of this? And he would stop, and he would look at me. And I would see his mind go into the void. I would see his mind go into the deep. He would grab an answer from a different dimension. It pretty much seemed like, and he knew everything. And he would sit there and he'd go, and you would wait until he got his answer, and he'd go, "It's this." And he was a smart guy. He's one of the smartest guys I knew. But the way he functioned, you can see how the Scorpio moon functions. These people are very intense, very mysterious. They have this energy about them that is very magnetic. They're very magnetic. They draw people to them. And they do it in a very cool, fashionable way, right? These people can keep their cool. They're really good at keeping their cool because inside of their mind, there's a lot of stuff going on. So much that you don't really ever know. And these are the one people that you'll never ever really surprise, or you'll never ever really crack. When you surprise the Scorpio moon, they'll go, just, You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very, very, very below the surface because whatever they do, they run so deep. The reality that these people experience is actually very intense. Depending on how they express themselves, that's another story. But the internal workings of a Scorpio moon, they do seem to live in the void at all times of the day. It just, very, very brooding, very, very deep. And their mind, I think the mind of a Scorpio moon is incredible. I really do think these people are incredible because they're very intense. And whenever you talk to them, whenever you speak to them, you can see the gears in their mind churning. But it's not like a excited scientist or whatever. It's almost like, I really do believe they are getting information from a different dimension, from a different source, from deepest, darkest depths of the ocean, from a different wavelength that only Scorpio moons are connected to. And because these people have great intuition, they have great understanding, and they're very complex. But at the same time, they're very, very strong-willed. So, Scorpio moon, if you ever talk to one, you'll kind of know it's Scorpio moon because they have this dark energy about them, right? Like I said, if the Scorpio sun is the one teaching the occult and studying the occult, or other deep dark secrets of the universe, the Scorpio moon is the one that just knows all about this. Just like, yeah, they wouldn't want to teach it, they just live it. Scorpio sun talks about it, teaches it, spreads it out into the world. Scorpio moon lives it. And that's really fascinating because they are the true embodiment of this energy that many people want to learn about. If you want to see the most pure form of the Scorpio, it does very well in the moon sign, in the moon placement of the chart, because they experience things very deeply, and the way they express them is also, it's not so dynamic. It's not so like, it's more like, I feel this so deep. I experience this so deep. And everything they experience is so intense. And everything they are so magnetic. They have this air about them. Scorpio moon has an air about them. It's almost like looking in to the bottom of the ocean. You're speaking to the void. You're speaking to someone who lives so extreme that they just understand everything, right? For Scorpio moon, life can almost be like, is there more to this? There must be more to this. Like, everything could seem surface level to these people. And it's very interesting. It's very interesting sign. It's very interesting energy. And these people make great psychologists. They're experts at not being very judgmental because they have the ability to feel certain spectrums, and they live in such an intense emotional world that when they see the problems of other human beings and they understand what people go through, they'll go, yeah, I see, yeah. And it's fascinating. To the Scorpio moon, life is deep to them, But I think what they will see in life is, who can I get along with? Who really sees the world the way I do? Does anybody feel things the way I feel? Does anybody understand things the way I do? Am I the only one like this? Am I the only one like this? What is life, really? Meanwhile, you guys are at the football game, right? Everyone's having fun. Scorpio Moon's sitting there. He lives in the void. He lives in the void. He lives for truth. He lives for introspection. Deep. Just like this photo here. You guys like that picture? Comment below if you like these pictures. I put a lot of work into getting them. But I think this is the perfect picture for the Scorpio moon. It is intense, magnetic. Have you ever seen like Japanese dark heavy metal bands? That kind of reminds me of what Scorpio moon is. That's the first thing that pops in my head when I think Scorpio moon. Right? There's one thing to be interested in a certain topic. There's one thing to be fascinated by it. And there's another thing to be the topic that people are fascinated by. Because when you are the thing that people are interested in, you really just think whatever, right? It's just whatever. It just is the way it is. That's just the way things are, man. That's just how things are. Scorpio moon has this air of detachment around them because they exist in their own world. They exist in their own mind. They see the world and they feel the world through this filter of intensity, of intuition, caution. How interesting, isn't it? How interesting, isn't it? You know, very mysterious people. Very, very mysterious people. You really won't ever know much about them unless they open up to you slowly, and they'll open up to you really, really slowly. And the way they'll communicate these things to you, it might seem very nonchalant. It might seem very, very like, you don't know how heavy something is to a Scorpio moon unless they tell you, because they seem to exist, what I say, in the void, right? They're kind of always just in this place. But if you dig down underneath and you get to know the true nature of who they are, you'll see there's just layers and layers and layers of complexity. And underneath, I would say there's a genius underneath. There truly is a genius in every Scorpio moon. There truly is something about them that is so calm yet powerful. You never want to piss off a Scorpio moon. Let's just end it off with that. Never want to make them mad. You never want to make any sign with Scorpio very mad. But especially Scorpio moon. Have you ever seen somebody? You know how you scare people? Here's a secret for anybody listening. Use this for good only in times of need. You know how you scare people? I do this sometimes. Not on purpose, just cause I'm a crazy man. You get really mad, and then you get really calm, and then you get really mad again, and you get really calm again. Because human beings, we take note in serious shifts of change and energy. Scorpio moon would do things like this naturally. It's just because they're where they are, and it's a scary thing. But you know, that's a psychology lesson for everybody. You get super mad. Yeah, blah, blah. You know what, you did this. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, I was just kidding about that. Sorry I said that. You say that to someone, you know, what the heck? What's up with this person? Ay. Now, what could a Scorpio moon struggle with? You know, I've been talking about them. I've been gassing up. I've been amping up my Scorpio brothers. Cheers to you guys. But what could the Scorpio moon have trouble with? Being too private. Well, Scorpios in general love privacy. But a lesson we can all learn in life is you miss the shots you never take, right? Scorpio moon can have a tendency to be so private with their feelings, with their emotions, with the way they view their world. When something is bothering them, because they feel things so intensely. And we live in a world where we say, calm down or take it easy. Well, that doesn't exist to a Scorpio moon. Take it easy? The heck you mean? There is no such thing as taking it easy for a Scorpio moon, because it's such a deep feeling, right? It's such a powerful, intense emotion. So, what a Scorpio moon would have trouble with, and most likely would need to work on, is being able to express themselves in a way when something bothers them, when they have feelings towards something, towards someone, when they are afraid to show their true self to people or to the world because they feel things so intensely. And that's a lesson we all have to learn. How much energy do I need to put out when speaking? How much of myself do I need to reveal? Is it good or is it bad that I say certain things, that I reveal certain things at a certain amount of time? Because we all wear a mask in society, right? And Scorpio moon, I don't think they really wear masks. I think they just are the way they are. But because they are the way they are, they are a little intimidating to other people, correct? They're a little scared of showing their true nature, because it might be too much to handle. From societal norms, it might be too much to handle, right? So these people, they'll excel in, I would say, extreme work environments. If you're a Scorpio moon, you're wondering, extreme work environments, like anything involving life, death, hospital work, medical work, like things like EMT, firefighters, perhaps even fighters as well. Fighting, athletics, something that really pumps the adrenaline, something that brings people to that, what I call flow state. Like a surfer, has to be in the flow state, because remember, the Scorpio moon is comfortable in the void, the place where they can let go, the place where they can feel, the place where they can be liberated. Because that is the sign of Scorpio. It is life and death. It is creation. It is transformation. And the deepest parts of transformation that a human being can experience is in the void, is in the state of flow, where all time, where all matter ceases to exist. And there's just one consciousness. And that one consciousness is all. It is you, it is I, it is me. And a Scorpio moon will do great in situations like that, where they can really, okay, there's nothing holding me back now, right? When someone is fighting, there's nothing holding a fighter back. When a surfer is surfing, there's nothing holding him back. He must be one with the waves. When you are in these situations where you are able to express your true self, the deepest core of yourself, the judgment of the world is gone, and the fear of others judging you is gone. And Scorpio is allowed to express all of his energy, unleash his tsunami of energy that he has inside of him. I do believe that will give Scorpio moon satisfaction in life. Things like that, where they can just, boom, I'm in with my intuition. Boom, I'm in. Let's use my gut instinct. Boom, let's feel alive. Let's feel the adrenaline kicking. Boom, this is one of those key moments where success or failure is evident. That's where the Scorpio moon will thrive, because, unleash yourself, transform yourself. That's what Scorpio is all about. It is the truth. What is the truth? What is the truth? In each moment, the truth could be different. But in each moment, the truth exists. And the truth doesn't exist until we are no longer living a lie.